UFC Fight Night and UFC Vegas 48, Dos Anjos versus Fiziev just wrapped up, and I decided I'm going to go through the full card recap, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Let's just get straight into it. Trash weak card. It was bad in the first place, and it just turned out bad. One of the worst cards and one of the longest cards I've ever seen. Whatever, though. Starting with the early prelim opener of Saeed Yakub Kakramanov. There was great performances on this card, though. A lot of ones. Weird decisions here and there, which I'll get to. But starting with the early prelim opener of Saeed Yakub Kakramanov versus Ronnie Lawrence. A good win from Saeed Yakub here. Absolutely dominated Ronnie Lawrence. I did not expect that. I thought Lawrence was just going to have some good striking here and there, and he did. Lawrence landed some good shots on the feet, and maybe, honestly, could have won the stand-up department, but the grappling of Saeed Yakub is just really good, and that just was just the whole fight, basically. Just out-grappled Ronnie Lawrence pretty easily. Lawrence, I just don't think is big enough. I just think Lawrence was just a little bit skinny out there, landing some a bit lanky. Not really too he wasn't huge, but Saeed Yakub had that muscle. He probably had a weight advantage there. And he went out there and now grappled Ronnie Lawrence. Good impressive victory from Saeed Yakub. If he did win this one, which there was a good chance he would have, I didn't think he was, but if he did, I thought it would be kind of close. But he dominated Ronnie Lawrence, who I thought was probably going to be something, but good performance by Saeed Yakub. He's a great fighter. Wonder what he would have done to Brian Kelleher. Poor Brian Kelleher getting fed to these guys, but good win from Saeed Yakub. Kakramanov. Moving on up the card. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Carl Roberson. I think it's now time to cut Carl Roberson from the UFC. It's hard to say his name. Carl Roberson. Get rid of him. Not just because of that, but just get rid of him. That's 4 in a row now. I get it against good opponents, but I think it's now time to cut him. He lost to Khalil Rountree, Brendan Allen, Marvin Vittori. I just think it's time to get rid of him. And his wins aren't even aging well, other than the Wellington Turman win, which is pretty aging well, but that was a close fight. And where's Roman Kopylov? Let's be real. I think it's now time to get rid of him, but good win from Kennedy Nzechukwu. He looked good out there. So it's good to see him back. He got the win against Nigam that time. I thought he won that fight. If either then that was a draw or it was his win. Good performance though. He's big. He looked improved with the grappling. Massively looked improved with the grappling. We've seen him haven't even used grappling. In fact, he kind of survived the grappling against Danilo Marquez. And he KO'd Olberg. So yeah, he improved the grappling. He did get submitted by Paul Craig back then, but Paul Craig submits everyone. Nikita Krylov might even do it to Volkan Ozdemir coming up soon. But yeah, good performance by Nzechukwu. He's an African Savage. That's his nickname. And he got the job done. Good performance. He's 30 years old. He's not going to turn 31 till June, so he has a bit of time. Turn back around. Late September, early October. Let's do that. Yeah, stay active, Nzechukwu. He's good. He trains at Fortis MMA. Yeah, he dominated this fight. Back of the headshots with the elbows, some here and there, but Roberson was just gonna lose anyways. He was getting completely dominated. First 2 rounds, good win from Nzechukwu. Moving on up the card, shows how good Dalton Young is really, in hindsight. David Onama versus Garrett Armfield. Let's talk about this one. Okay. Good win from David Onama, and I'll talk about him after, but he got the win. He got the arm triangle choke. Garrett Armfield looked good out there. I didn't think he was going to survive. I didn't predict this one because it was announced during the week, and I posted my predictions Sunday. This was this got announced the day after. And I didn't want to do last minute detail predictions for this card because it was a bad card on paper. But I did predict Onama to KO him in the first round. I did predict that to happen. And yeah, he he didn't go out there, and in fact, he got cracked by Garrett Armfield. Okay, Armfield took this on days' notice, though, man. It's not a good look. He did get the win, but this kind of changes my thoughts on Onama. Because after that Benitez win, I was like, this guy's a savage. After that Mason Jones fight, on short notice himself against Mason Jones, he looked good against Mason Jones. If it was a full camp, he probably would have won. But maybe it's just Garrett Armfield's good. But let me look at Garrett Armfield's record. He's 8-3, 25 years old, 10-5, 6-3, 1-0. He hasn't faced great opponent. He lost by rear naked choke to a 4-1 guy and Mateo Vogel. Kenny Richmond 4-1, 8-11. He hasn't fought great opponents. He lost to Ronnie Lawrence himself, and of course in amateurs he fought David Onama as well, but that didn't count. But yeah, that was way back in 2018. But Onama won. Worrying with his chin. Not really. He has a decent chin. He took some big shots here and there, but Armfield was going to slow down when the fight went on. Yeah, Onama though is like striking defense management's a bit off. I won't be picking him. I'll pick him moving forward. I'm not gonna be like, I'm stop picking him. I don't think he'll be the contender I think he's gonna be anymore. I think he needs to make rapid improvements. 28 years old, he still has time. He turns in like 11 months. He turns frickin' 29. So he's good. Come back in there, make improvements. Come back in November. I know he didn't take much damage, but he got hit here and there. Come back better than ever, David Onama. But that really was scary, and I was really worried about him. I was really worried of David Onama out there. Really worrying, cause like if someone like David, Garrett Armfield's pretty good, but like a real one punch KO artist will lay him out. I'm not even joking. Like a one punch, boom, out cold guy is gonna put him out. It's gonna be worrying. Like a guy's just gonna lay him out. Like who do I say? Like a freaking. I know who'll lay him out. Like a freaking Joe Anderson Brito, like lay him out. Or something like that. Someone will actually put him out. Ricardo Ramos or someone. But good win. Moving on up the card. Antonina Shevchenko versus Courtney Casey. Alright. A lot of people thought Shevchenko won this fight. I did as well, but I think it was a lot closer than people think it was. I really don't care about this one. I don't care at all. I'm not calling it a robbery or anything, but it was a much closer fight than people think it was. I did score the first 2 rounds though for Antonina Shevchenko. I don't think it's a close fight. It's one of those ones where it's like it's not back and forth at all. It's back and forth war. Nah, it's like really close in rounds. So it's one of those fights that's kind of opinion based. But I did score to Shevchenko. Rounds 1 and 2. I think you have to give. Casey had a good 3rd round, but she's just really dumb. It's women's MMA, so not much to go off there, but good win from her, I guess. Good win from Antonina Shevchenko. First round's close, though. It's really close. Technicality was Courtney Casey gets that one, but they give it to Shevchenko. The judges don't follow the rules, and they don't follow the rules of damage. But yeah, Shevchenko won. Not a robbery. If it went to Casey, I wouldn't call it a robbery either, but it was one of those fights. I think Shevchenko won, though. It's kind of clear, but close. You know, it's kind of clear, close. It's like a clear competitive. It's kind of like that. There's a close and competitive, and maybe a clear. But that was close and clear. Shevchenko won it, though. Moving on up the card. Cody Brundage. Oh, my goodness. I forgot about that one. Cody Brundage versus... by the way, I don't know who they're going to give the bonuses to. They gave it to Fiziev. Okay, I'll talk about it after. Cody Brundage versus Tracion Gore at the headliner of the prelims. Yeah, Tracion Gore. He gets flatlined out cold. Yeah, he sucks, man. cut him from the UFC. He's actually garbage. He's 3-2. Get him out of here. I didn't know he was that bad. I'll never pick him again. Ever again. Yeah, Cody Brundage looked good out there. He stayed safe early on. I like Cody Brundage now. I'll talk about it after. I'll talk about his performance. He knocked out Gore out cold. Yeah. He dropped Gore really badly. Was getting hurt here and there. I think he took down Gore early on, but then got clipped here and there. It looked like Gore was starting to look good. Then he dropped out of nowhere. Was staying patient. Landing some jabs. Circling down the outside. Gore was just Tyron Woodley out there. Just wasn't throwing anything other than just pop shots. Throw a big right hand. Throw a Michael Chandler, big right hand. Boom. Don't just sit there and land jabs. It's not going to work out. But he gets clipped. Good for Brundage. And he goes straight into mount, which was really good. He landed some big shots. Put Gore out cold. That's what Gore gets. Get rid of him. He sucks. He lost to Brian Battle. He did lose to Brian Battle. Now he lost to Cody Brundage. Unless you want to rebook him versus Josh Fremd, which was supposed to originally happen, then let's just get rid of him. He's 28, but there's no point. He's not going to be anything. He just got KO'd. He's going to take a bit of time off. It was a brutal KO. And yeah, Cody Brundage though, actually really good for Cody Brundage. How old's Cody Brundage? I really hope he's 28. Yeah, that's Dolce Lingambula for guillotine choke. And now Trejan Gore for freaking flatline KO. Not flatline KO, but a brutal out cold KO, ground and pound. From getting the knockdown to ground and pound. But honestly, I don't know. How good's William Knight for just putting him out? How really good is William Knight to just put him out? He probably would have beaten Max. Honestly, he probably would have beaten Maximov if it was a full camp. I'll give you that. But good win from Cody Brundage. He gets it done. Moving on up the card to the main card. Jamie Malarkey versus Michael Johnson. Okay, let me talk about this one for a second. For a minute here. I know people are going to say robbery. I know people in the comment sections are going to be saying robbery. Oh, Michael Johnson should have won that. I don't know who to really score that to. At first, when I watched it live, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe Johnson can sneak that one. It all depends on the first round. But that's one of those either way fights. But I look at the rounds. I thought Michael Johnson clearly won the third round 10-9. But I thought the second round at first maybe 10-8 Malarkey. But I thought it was still back and forth. But Malarkey was just getting the better of him. Kind of like the third round with Johnson, Malarkey. But the third round was much closer than the second. So I did think the second round was 10-9 Malarkey. But dominant round. Like a more clear round. And I think Michael Johnson had the 10-9 in the third. So I think the third round went to Johnson, second round went to Malarkey. And you would say Malarkey, you would usually say, yeah, but Johnson got the knockdown. Johnson got the knockdown, but then he got dropped afterwards by Malarkey. Malarkey was overall outstriking him in that round. I don't know. I don't mind it going either way, honestly. I'm not calling it a robbery. At first, I was kind of, confused at it. But I wasn't, like, oh, my God, that's just blatant robbery. That could be Malarkey's win. I did score Johnson, though. I did think Johnson did slightly more, honest with you. Because, I don't know. Because when I know Johnson had more of a clear knockdown. Where it's like, oh, Malarkey actually got dropped. And Johnson, maybe you could say, oh, he got hurt, then went down. As if Johnson, when he dropped Malarkey, oh, down goes Malarkey. It's a tough one there. But when Johnson when he dropped Malarkey, he kind of was in north-south position, talking to his coaches, looking up. As when Malarkey dropped Johnson, he just was elbowing him around the ear. So I wouldn't call it a robbery. If that went to Johnson, I wouldn't complain. I'm not complaining about this one. I know I'm going to get some I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but I just think it was an either way fight. I did think Johnson slightly did enough, just barely, but I'm not calling it a robbery. It's one of those fights, yet again, but I'm not going to call it a robbery, but I did think Johnson, if anyone should have won slightly, maybe Johnson, but I don't know. It was a really close fight, not calling it a robbery. Yeah, at first I thought it was a draw, because maybe Johnson can win the first and third, and second round could be 10-8 Malarkey, but I just don't think that at all. Johnson can slightly win that, but not kind of robbery. Completely fine with the decision. Yeah. Shows how good really Jalen Turner is for just beating up Malarkey easily like that, just putting him away. So yeah, good performance. Moving on up the card by both of them. Moving on. Ricky Turcios versus Ayman Zahabi. Or Ayman Zahabi versus Ricky Turcios. What a letdown. Completely, what a letdown from Ricky Turcios. Hype train done. Let's be real. Like, what was that? Ayman Zahabi just beat him every round. Every round, Ayman Zahabi beat him. I don't know. What was that from Ricky Turcios? That's his hype done. And that will be him done. What was that game plan from him? I will never know, but like, dude used to be so fun. I did not expect this from Ricky Turcios. Dude usually has fun fights. The last thing I would expect is him being boring. Maybe he's trying to change up his style or something. I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe he was trying to change up the style, because maybe he was just getting brain damage at this point. So young in his career, but man, Ricky Turcios, what a letdown. What a letdown. Didn't even do anything. Was trying to cruise to a decision so he can hope to get a robbery decision. Zahabi clearly won every round. Not even one round. The judges really scored at 29-28 Zahabi, but I was 30-27 Zahabi. Really clear. Zahabi, the first rounds can either way round, but last two are clear Zahabi. Zahabi can win the first, man. He can. He was landing good shots, leg kicks as well. Leg kicks were a big part in this. And Turcios didn't do anything about it. He didn't do anything about it, which was confusing to me. But yeah, Zahabi, I'm never going to pick Turcios again. I'm going to refresh this, because I can't fix the screen here. Okay, I don't really care. But, yeah, weird. I don't know what happened to him. What happened to him? What happened to frickin' Turcios? I don't know. That's his hype done. He could come back and win, but, like, I guess he doesn't want to fight anymore, man. Just quit. Honestly, if you're going to fight like that, just quit. I know it's a new patient style, and you can't really say much about it, but that's not Ricky Turcios. That was just some random guy just being patient on the outside, trying to cruise his way to a robbery decision. Weird game plan. He won, though. Let's speed up. Good one, Zahabi. He's a good fighter. Yeah. Moving on up the card. Chase Sherman, Jared Vanderaa. I'm going to speed through these last couple. Before. Chase Sherman got the win. Good win from Chase Sherman. Jared Vanderaa should be cut immediately. Why is he here? I said he was maybe a lock on the card. Man, he sucks completely, man. Absolutely garbage fighter, Jared Vanderaa. Same with Chase Sherman, but Sherman got the win. Good win from Chase Sherman, honestly. Good for him. Personality on the mic as well. Good performance by him. Got the job done. Good win from Chase Sherman. Not going to lie, good performance. He actually looked good out there. Really good performance by Chase Sherman. He looked good. Chase Sherman looked improved out there. Won the first 2 rounds, I thought, quite clearly. Third round, pull away Vanderaa. Get cut from the UFC, Vanderaa. You suck. Get out. Moving on up the card. Saeed. Oh, do I have to break these down? Saeed versus Douglas. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Douglas of the Andrade. Some people thought Andrade won. I don't think he did. I thought he freaking... God, this card sucks, man. I actually hate this card. Next week's card will be good in UFC London. Long Island's next week. London's the week after in UFC 277, which isn't even a good pay-per-view. But, God, this sucks card, man. Saeed won the first and third round quite clearly, but he can win the second, but I think he did get dropped. So Saeed won. Could be 30-27. I scored 29-28, though. Douglas made a showing. Saeed kind of got exposed, but he won. Moving on. Kyle Bahalo versus Armin Petrosian. Can I just speed through this, man? Boring fight again. Kyle Bahalo won. Kyle Borrallo got the job done. Good win. Oh, this card sucks. I can't wait for next week. I wish we had Garber on this card. This was probably one of the worst cards I've seen. Kyle Bahalo won the first 2 rounds with the grappling. Good job. He gassed out in the third. One of the judges gave the third round to Bahalo, but he didn't. He clearly lost the third. Petrosian didn't look great. Bahalo looked decent. Good win. Moving on to the main event. Rafael Fiziev got a great KO. Great win from Rafael Fiziev. You have to give it to him. He went out there, got a 5th round KO. And it could have been 2-2, 3-1 going into it. I had it for me. I really had it. 3-1 Fiziev. I picked RDA to win this one, but Hail Mary. Things happen. He gets KO'd. Good for Fiziev. He's a huge prospect now. Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler, you guys are done. These guys are coming up. Fiziev, Gamrot, these guys are coming to take over. Sound like Ian Gary. Yeah, Fiziev looked good. I had it first 2 rounds Fiziev. 3rd round, Fiziev again. I think Fiziev won the 3rd round again. RDA won the 4th. Got KO'd in the 5th. So early stoppage, I thought it was pretty decent. RDA was probably going to get subbed out cold. Good one, Fiziev. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. This is a full card recap for UFC Vegas. UFC Vegas 58. Yeah. Peace.